I got to get one of those white and greens.
I know. We should just
people love this hat.
We should just mail
when we were ordering these, dude. I was like, hey,
we'll restock white and green.
The creams are nasty.
Yeah.
Right,
you ready?
There.
Hey y'all! Thank you for tuning in to the Sunday Slate. My name is Alex,
and I'm Casey Proctor,
and this is our 2024 East-West Shrine Bowl interview coverage. Enjoy.
Peace. Our entire goal coming into this, because this is our second Shrine Bowl. Last year we went.
This for you. We brought it for you. That's our little deal. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Looking good. I don't know if that has ever looked better.
Might need to take a button off of there. But Alex lives in Las Vegas. Last year Shrine Bowl was in Vegas, so I just flew out easy enough.
Yep.
And we just rolled up. Check that shit out. Get in there, Frank.
Yeah, the camera's right there if you want to kind of.
You want to make that thing clean.
You look like Fernando Rodney. Look like you're about to come out of the bullpen.
But anyhow, last year's we showed up and we just went to the game. We didn't know what we were getting into. We got the credential. We just went online. We've been fucking around talking to each other about the draft for 2 years, and then we were like, let's take it a step further. Get the credentials approved to our dismay, and then we're just on the field. And it's like, okay, what's up, guys? You don't know us, we don't know you, whatever. This year we're like, we got to get in and talk to guys. And then when we were talking about what we want that to look like, we're just like, this doesn't matter. We just wanted to talk to these guys that we're obsessing over for months, dude.
Right.
Our database goes back to August.
Really?
You've been in our computer since August.
Yes.
And, moving up and down and in between other guys. We had eyes on you for so long, and now it's Frank fucking Gore Jr. is sitting right here.
Southern Miss finest.
I mean, for real.
I got one burning question. Was that really your auntie?
Yeah, that was my
That was your auntie? I'm like, dude, Frank Gore Jr. is hilarious. You're like, auntie, chill. I thought that was too funny, dude. I was like, either that's his auntie for sure, or that's someone else's auntie. He just called her auntie.
Yeah.
No, that's my real auntie.
That's auntie for sure, huh? That's awesome. Cool, man. Well, hey, again, we're hoping this is going to be easy. This is, we're learning as we go. We've had great conversations with a bunch of folks, and so this was definitely one that we wanted to pen. We were like, man, we got to get with Frank Gore Jr. 1,300 yards at least last 2 years. So coming into the NFL, this is not just Frank Gore's kid. This is a dude that has done it, and has proven to do it just like his dad may have done before, but you're your own guy, right? So my biggest question is, if you're self-scouting, how do you differ, and what do you do better than your dad? What do you think you try to get to be as good as your dad? What do you think is kind of the difference between you and what your dad did as a running back?
I'll say I'm a little more elusive, Okay. In open field, I have more
jiggle.
moves. Yeah, a little bit more jiggle. But our game is a lot similar than you'll think, even though I'm a smaller body.
Okay.
We have great feet, great vision,
right.
And we are able to catch the ball. So we're both dynamic, but in two different ways, but we both get the job done.
Right. That's awesome.
See, I think that's the thing, too, is because you can't get out of the shadow. It's there,
yeah,
right?
I
mean,
your name's your name, right?
Yeah, I mean, literally to the birth certificate, you are Frank fucking Gore. So, I mean, you're gonna carve your own path, and that's what it's gonna be. But the first time that you see Frank Gore Jr. on paper, it's like, oh, this kid's got to be a bruiser. But then you see, 1,300 yards from on the ground, but 3,000 all-purpose in the last 2 seasons, 22 touchdowns in the end zone 3 times, catching the ball, You're a pretty complete back, dude. And, I mean, obviously Pops is in the Hall of Fame, but you're a complete back, and you get to ride into, you're in your draft cycle now. And, I mean, I think that's the coolest thing to get to hear and learn. From this point, you're an all-star. Congrats. And then from here to the draft, how are you getting yourself to be the best to show up Combine Day? Do you have goals that you're trying to hit, numbers you want to reach? And what's the process of getting to them?
I've just been working hard, man, making sure my body's good, making sure I'm taking care of my mentals, making sure I'm just top tier all the way around. Just going in every day. It's a long process, tiring process. So just try to go through every week as it's back to step one. Mm-hmm. So every Sunday, every Monday, go back to step one and just take each day for what it is and don't try to skip days.
Pretty big routine guy then.
Yes.
So we were just talking to Cam Little, kicker, and hearing his day breakdown kind of it's just so meticulous being a kicker, and how he talked about a very detail-oriented position. But that applies to any skill player as well. I mean, because you've got to keep You got to keep loose. You got to be able to move. You got to be able to drop the shoulder. You got to be able to catch.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's a well-oiled machine. You got to take care of it.
Yeah, facts for sure.
What's been your biggest takeaway from this week so far?
There's a lot of great guys, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of talent in this world.
Yeah.
The first day was kind of fast, but second day I kind of buckled in and
Yep.
got used to the speed.
Mhm.
Just a lot of great guys taking it all in, being around
Yeah.
a lot of top talent, and just seeing everyone for what they is.
Yeah.
Really.
All the all-stars from all the different
Yeah.
places. That's what we're
It's
like.
like some guys I never even got to watch play in college, and I get to see them guys in person. So
Right.
it's cool.
Right.
Who
Go ahead.
who so offensively, you're going and running around the guys. Who defensively has been making some noise or standing out to you?
That Ohio State linebacker,
Chambers.
yes,
Yeah.
he's pretty good. There's a lot of good guys. D lineman,
Okay.
the D lineman from Grambling, he's pretty explosive. The back end, I don't really know their schools because like all the helmets kind of look the same.
Right.
Yeah.
They got to start stickers. And
Yeah.
everything. Yep.
All the helmets, but them guys, they actually cover pretty good, make
Yeah.
great plays on the ball. So it's just a lot of great talent here. Like everyone gets to showcase in
Yeah.
front of scouts, so it's just a blessing.
It's pretty cool.
Football question, because I didn't play football. I'm just a fan of football, and every single year we were just talking about it, like trying to learn more and trying to ingrate ourselves further. What is zone scheme versus gap scheme blocking? What is easier to run behind? Do you have a preference? Why? Is it just about the guys on the line? What makes the difference between the decision between balancing the zone and the gap scheme?
The difference is there's more like pulling and like, okay, have you played basketball?
Yeah.
You know, like how do you beat a zone defense in basketball? You overload one side, so that's kind of like gap scheme.
That's when you get the guard pulling.
And
yeah.
so you're overloading one side and getting your numbers to
That
getting
makes
the
sense.
advantage. And
Yeah.
then I'll say, and zone scheme is more like a motion offense where you just I'll say pass and cut. Like you're looking for the right hole, you're being patient, and you got to hit it at the right time.
You need more patience as the running back
Yes,
when
to
you're
let
in the
things
zone.
develop. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you have a preference?
I don't mind neither, but I like gap scheme more.
Mhm.
It gives me an opportunity to be more in control of my
Yeah.
decision.
Because, and again, as a back, at a certain point in every run, you either got to hit somebody or you got to make somebody miss.
Yes,
So,
facts.
where's your brain go to first? Like, if you have an instinct, is it hit you in the mouth or is it make you look
It
stupid?
depends. I can do. It depends.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
Frank.
If it's a guy who's chirping out there, I'm not gonna say nothing back. But when I catch you,
It's
I'm
time.
gonna try to run into you. But mostly I'll go to try to make a move on you. But
Yeah.
it depends on who you are and how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
It depends.
I like that a lot, dude.
That's a beautiful answer.
That sounds like you're dangerous all the time, Frank.
Okay, so, man, college football, even just being sideline, it is a different sport. It is brutal. It is tough. And so, but my biggest thing is, my dad, for instance, was a coach. So I remember always when I was playing, it was like, well, it's the coach's kid. And so I was like, fuck, man, I got to be good so that I'm not just the coach's kid, right?
Yeah.
For you, I can only imagine, man, getting to the level of college football that you've been at, dominating the way you have the past 2 years especially, is it, like I said before, this is not just Frank Gore's kid. This is a kid that's putting together tape, putting together his own body of work that really, has earned your way into the All-Star game. When did you know that, man, my dad might be this dude, but I'm different, and I'm a guy that's going to be playing on Sundays as well?
I always thought I was different.
You always thought so?
I always thought I was different, but it didn't come to reality until I got to probably my senior year of high school.
Okay, cool.
It hit me where I really got a shot if I put the time in and
Right.
do everything right. So yeah.
See, that's something we've talked to everybody about is like an aha moment of
Yeah.
talking to Aneem Dankwa, 6'8", 360. It's like, hey, what day did you look in the mirror and be like, this can play?
Yeah.
This can
Yeah.
play. And because for me, as an athlete, as a ball player myself, I never got to that point. My senior year in college was the most fun year that I ever had playing baseball because I knew that was it. It was and for whatever reason, it took me mentally just tiny between the years. That was my problem. But I needed the relief of I got nothing to lose, and there's an element of I think having that like aggression, going after it like that, and then also having the back end day to day covering what you got to take care of, and finding that balance there. But and to see it like you just said, senior year in high school, that's pretty cocky. Just like, hey, we got it.
Yeah.
We're them.
Yeah.
We're him.
Yeah.
Okay, so you shout out Steel Chambers. I seen him. I mean, that's a crazy ass name.
That sounds like
That's a Wu-Tang name if I've ever
Yeah,
heard
you
of
see
one.
him with all the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives up to it.
So, and that's here. Who in this past year, or I guess you could say your whole college career, like who really stood out defensively that you went up against in your career playing?
I'll say that Jared Verse, Leonard Taylor, them
Okay.
guys who stood out
Yo.
when I played against them. But watching on film, it was a lot of great guys.
Yeah.
But every game is not going to be your best game. So
Right.
just when I played them, those guys who stood out.
Was it fun to play Miami, knowing that?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
It was fun.
okay,
It was
cool.
fun going back home.
Yeah, no, that's no joke, man. That's got to be fun because I'd be interested to see what your dad wore to the game.
He was actually going for them.
Oh, was he?
No love lost.
Hey, but little did he know, man.
Yeah.
Frankie Gore Jr. was ready to put it on him, man.
Yeah,
That's funny.
he know how I felt.
Yeah.
But I don't
Hey,
care.
you bang your alma mater. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
If he's going against my favorite team, same thing.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
what it is.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have like six.
6?
7 actually. 5 brothers.
Okay.
8 actually.
8.
Keep going up.
I'm gonna ask you in 30 minutes, and we're gonna see. No.
1 brother, 3 sisters.
Okay. Are you youngest?
Oldest.
Oldest. No shit. That's crazy.
Well, and he's an older brother. I'm a younger brother.
Yeah.
You're an older brother. 5 other brothers. Competition is in the house all the time, right? So do you give a lot of credit to that, like beyond like
It's
college
crazy
played in the
because
league, like having 5 brothers.
my 7-year-old brother who just started football talked the most.
Yeah.
He talks the
He
most.
talks the most. smack.
But, okay, scout your brothers, and I promise we're
Rank 'em.
sending this. But, like, out of your brothers, I'll be honest, man, my brother, he played ball better than me. And so there came a time where I was like, I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
But do you think years from now we'll be talking to another Gore brother and guys will be ready to go to the league, or do you think those
Next
guys?
year, you guys will be talking to my stepbrother from Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Ricardo Hallman.
Dude, he was a top guy for us until that's your
Until he
stepbrother.
returned.
Yeah,
He's a dude.
we grew up together like
No shit.
our whole lives.
He was a top 100 guy for us this year.
Yeah, he's the guy for sure.
He's a dog.
Yeah,
And he's younger than you by a
Yes.
year or what?
yeah.
Okay.
2 years.
2 years.
Well, a year and a half.
Yeah, no, he's a guy that we have in our system. We have obviously we have, like he said, we had all of our, watch lists and stuff. And he was a guy when he announced that he was returning, I was like, dang, that was a guy that defensive back wise. And there's a lot of good
Makes a lot
DBs
of
here,
sense.
like you said. But I was like, that's a guy that we're going to have high up next year. So
Yeah, fact.
we'll bring you up with Ricardo, man. Hopefully he gets to the Shrine Bowl. If he's in Senior Bowl, we might have to think about going to
Yeah, we
Mobile.
might just have to go follow the Gore family tree.
Yeah. What are you most excited for in this process? Are you most excited for just get it over with and get to work with your new team, or has this kind of been just the dream, living it out, or how are you kind of taking this all in?
It's a long process.
It is, yeah.
It's tiring, for
Right.
sure. It's tiring for sure, but of course, I'm looking forward to knowing what team I'm going to play for next year, because right now it's you don't know.
kind of up in the air.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
up in the air, but I can't want to sim it in a game. You can
Right.
sim.
Yeah. Simulate.
I gotta take it for every day.
Right.
Take it as the blessing that it is.
100%,
don't try to
dude.
just look forward to something. And today, everyone don't get to do this. It's not everyone's lifestyle.
Right.
So I gotta take it for what it is.
No,
a true
man.
blessing.
You say
It's
more
pretty cool.
more mentally tiring,
Yeah.
just every day thinking about it,
More. It's both really, cause repetitive workouts, same thing, same stuff. Whether when you're going for season training, you're mainly focused on what you need to get better at. Now you focus on testing and things like
Right.
that. See what I'm saying?
Right. How to get the
Yeah.
digits down or up.
What's
or whatever.
the biggest focus right now? Where do you have to grow the most for combine?
Also, I'm trying to get my 40 right.
Okay.
40 starts better and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So training is technique.
Yes,
And,
yes.
You're back to track.
Yeah.
Did you ever run track?
Yeah, I ran track when I was little, but I was a 400 runner. So
Okay.
I wasn't a
Way
sprinter.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, the combine's got to be a trip, dude. Because it is again, just guys that see shit on TV.
Yeah.
You're in Lucas Oil Stadium, and there's 5,000 people there. Like,
Yeah.
there's nobody there, and then it's just, you know. I mean,
It's
gonna be
military
crazy.
type stuff.
Straight
It feels
up,
like at
boot
that
camp,
point.
yeah.
Okay, I asked you about some of the guys that you competed against. These may be guys that you've competed against as well, but who are your top 3 guys throughout your college career, throughout your pre-draft process? Who are your top 3 guys that you've loved getting to know, you've loved kind of having in your corner, or you've just loved being around? Is there guys in, back in Mississippi that, you still think are probably going to be day-to-day talk to type dudes, or who are you closest to in this whole process?
My dad, of course.
Really? Okay.
I talked to Jason Brownlee.
Okay, yeah. He's with New York, right?
Yes, New York Jets.
Yep.
Yeah, I talked to Jason Brownlee. That's like a big brother to me. Like, we went to school together. So.
He seems sharp, dude.
Yeah, he is for sure. Who else? I talked to my teammates.
Yeah.
But like they be in training too, so like I don't take too much of their time.
Right.
I just try to get that locker room vibe, like mess with them a little bit.
Yeah.
We go back our separate ways, but
Hanging with the guys, man.
that's pretty much it. My trainer, my dad, and then Tim Jones. He's with the Jaguars. He was my teammate as well.
Okay.
I talk to him all the time though, like even throughout the season, because he's in a position that I want to be in. So he just gave me great advice, not just on football, just on how to go about things.
Yeah, I love your approach, man. It's cool to hear, because anybody that's I remember going to school with some guys that like their dads were big leaguers and stuff, and sometimes people can kind of become a little entitled and stuff. And for you, I feel like it's been fun to kind of follow your journey, get to know you, and also understand that, hey man, you're doing a lot of hard work as well yourself. You're doing a lot of stuff to get to where you need to be. So
Every man have their own journey.
Right? Yeah.
And this is kind of like an isolated experience too, right? Like, because you're so hyped, you're fixated on, I got to get my 40 down. I got to get my bench up, like whatever. And that's
facts.
like you lost the locker room for this period, right?
Yeah, facts.
To
Right.
get
Facts.
into your next one. That's a whole perspective I hadn't really considered about any of this.
Was Quez Watkins? again?
Nah, he was the year before.
A year before you, but he was he was
Same
Southern Miss,
Southern
right?
Miss,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, cool. That's why I thought, man, sometimes I get bad with the memory, but now I'm feeling like I'm getting tested.
Yeah.
Sweet, man.
All right, I do want to ask one question about growing up around an NFL locker room. Because, like, you hear stories about, like, Ken Griffey or, like, whatever,
Right.
like, kids that are in the locker room. Were you in the NFL locker room, like, as a kid?
Not too much, but like I went to games, but like I wouldn't say I went in the locker room. Like I met players, like my dad's closest teammates and stuff. Like I met them, but like not in the locker room. Type, just like they come over to my dad's house and things like that.
You think that gives you an edge in some way, though, just being, like, around football guys from a young age? Like,
From the passion standpoint, yeah, but I don't think like they weren't giving me any tips at 7 or 8 years old.
right? No.
It was
But
just-
that like the intangible stuff, I put so much stock in that. Like,
facts.
who's the guy? What's
you
the guy
carry yourself
believing?
like a big leaguer before you're a big leaguer, probably, right?
Facts.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, you probably had some great uncles growing up with your dad's teammates. Who kind of had an influence on you as a friend of your dad's?
Michael Crabtree, LaShawn McCoy.
Really?
Shady.
That's awesome.
Devin Singletary, I got to work out with him a lot. Like,
Devin Singletary's a
going
dude.
into my senior year.
Yeah.
So that's when I was kind of like figuring out like, yeah, I could do this. Like, this is something I could do. So yeah, just mainly them three really. Like especially they stayed with me as I got older.
Yeah.
So it's like
You tap in.
Oh, Dante Moncrief.
Dude, yeah. So he was a guy out of Ole Miss. I remember him.
That's like we're like this. Like I talk to him all the time.
You're locked in with
like,
him.
We don't even we call and talk about video games and little like stuff like that.
I liked Dante coming out of college, but you know what's insane about Dante is he still plays, doesn't he? Like he still trains.
He trained.
Yeah.
But he just retired like last year.
Yeah.
But he still training every day.
Right, and he got drafted what?
Second round?
10 years ago though.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
Yeah, like he was in the league, kind of bouncing around. Those Ole Miss
he
guys.
had a great career though with the Colts.
I thought so too. I mean, he was the one. Like he was like the Michael Pittman before.
Yeah, facts.
Pittman was
Yeah,
Pittman,
facts.
right?
Yeah,
Like
facts.
he was a guy for sure. And then I remember, it may have been UFL, it may have been XFL, it may have been some other thing, but Dante was doing something.
Nah, he just went to the he was in the NFL only though.
Only NFL?
Yeah, it was like he was going like to like the Patriots, the Jaguars,
Oh, okay.
like little stuff
like
that.
practice squad
Yeah.
stints and stuff like that. But no, I mean, a lot of people talk about the A.J. Browns, the Elijah Moores, all the guys coming out of Ole Miss, but I feel like he is one of the most slept-on Rebels.
Yeah, but he started it though.
I know, right?
They forget when they
right.
start. They
I
forget
know,
when they
yeah,
start.
yeah. It was.
The stars shine too bright, and they
Yeah.
forget really
He's
quick.
all those guys' big brothers too, yeah. So that's crazy. That's funny that you guys tap in and
Yeah,
stay
we
so
do, for
close.
sure.
Good, man.
Sick.
Well, hey, man, God bless you. We're so excited to see your journey and see where
Thank
you
you, guys.
land. We
Thank
love
you,
watching
guys.
you kind of do your thing and, make your own story. Just like you said, every man's got his own journey.
Yeah,
So
fact.
you got two big fans here, and we really appreciate you taking time. Dude.
Thank you, guys.
Seriously.
Yeah, Frank.
Thank
Yo.
you,
Meet
guys.
you, brother.
Frank, take care, brother.
Thank you,
Have a
guys.
good night, man.
Same to you.
All right, kid.
That's a wrap, kid.
That is a wrap for the day.